Yeah, that's right. We got the old 44 mag out. So this is a Ruger Super Blackhawk, and we'll test the loads that I made in a couple videos ago. If you haven't seen it, go check that one out first. I'll have a link up above and in the description. Sorry it's kind of windy out here. I hope the mic's doing its job, keeping out the wind. It was great back at the house. Come here and it's windy. We'll see what we can do. I think it'll still be okay and we'll get the results we need. I'll go ahead and start with the lowest load first, which is 26.7. Now, I'm just going to shoot at that middle target, probably about 30 or 40 yards away. And I've got 4 shots here. Alright, now how I check the pressure, well, first I'm going to look at the speeds, but with a revolver it's pretty easy. So what I do is I just tip it upside down, and if I can just give the plunger a little tap, it should come out smoothly. You can kind of feel how stuck it is in the case. And that one I just tapped it a little bit and it came right out. That one seems fine. We'll go through and do the rest. That one had a little bit. That one had a little bit of pressure to it. Not bad. Nothing that I'd be concerned about, but it stuck a little bit more than that other one. Yeah, that one fell. That one fell right out. I barely even had to touch it. So I would say this. Yeah, that one fell right out too. So this round's good. Now I've got the gun clear. We'll go down range, take a peek at it, and look at the chronograph, see what we have. This is the lowest load, 26.7, I believe. All right, now we're going to move up to the 27 grains. Again, I'll just shoot at that middle target. It's the easiest to pinpoint. All right, this is the medium load, 27 grains. Next load, heaviest load out of all 3 of them, 27.3. Now it is now when I'm shooting them, you can probably tell in the camera, it is giving me a good kick. Now it is a 44 mag with full power load, so I mean you got to kind of expect it. But it's also worse on the rest because, I don't know, I feel like you can manage the kick a little better when you're standing up. So anyway, we'll go ahead and shoot these. Pop a few rounds of these off, see how these ones do. Again, just aiming for the middle. Yeah, you can see I was squoze like 3/4 of the way. I just didn't feel good. The wind was pushing my head around a little bit. I just got off the sights, released the trigger, took a couple deep breaths, get my breathing under control. Sometimes you gotta do that, and especially like with heavy hitting bullets, heavy recoilers. That one was a kicker. And I believe that is 4. Maybe I was wishing it was 4 because I've got one left. Yeah, these ones are definitely kickers, but I'm sure it'll be a lot better when I'm standing up. So Got one last one. We'll put this, hopefully we can put this one right in the middle there. Go ahead and give it a smack. All right, let's go take a look. This is the heaviest one, 27.3. Now, just for comparison's sake, I'm gonna see, those were all 200 grain bullets. You've got to watch the video before if you haven't to get to understand this. Anyway, those were 200 grain bullets, okay? These are factory 240 grain bullets. I kind of just want to feel the difference. Now, I know that they're not going to kick as much. Factories are loaded down a lot, I'd say. I'd say they're kind of like a medium powered load. Well, most factory bullets, at least, you can always get some that shoot faster and are powerful, but for the most part, I'd say that. So we'll test these. Now, these are 240, so they are heavier, so they're obviously not going to be going as fast, but at least I can get the feel for recoil, and we can see what kind of accuracy we get out of them as well. Oh yeah, those are easy shooting. They don't recoil much at all. Well, as always, here is your favorite part of the video. Well, I'm not sure if it's your favorite part or not. Kind of like doing the number crunching and taking a step back, looking at all the load data. And first up, I will go through and show you the load data as far as the velocity and the group size and everything. So I've included up to 25 to 27.3 grains of H110. Now on the video I just showed the 26.7 through the 27.3. I tested the other loads earlier. From the other loads, the best load that I found was that one highlighted in green, the 25.5, and shot really good. That was with 4 shots. You'll see a little later in the video I've kind of compared some of these to that. The bullets that I just shot, I was pretty happy with them. Most of them shot pretty well. That first group, that 26.7, it was about 3 of the bullets, 3 of the shots were within 2 inches, and then there was one flyer that was off the target about 7 inches away. And the 27 grains, again, 3 of them were within 2 inches or so, and then there was one flyer that was about 4 inches away. Now these flyers could have very well been me. I don't know. It was a little windy, and it was blowing to the left, which is where both of the flyers were. The 27.3 grains, this was pretty good. 2 of them were pretty much in the same hole, and then 2 of them were about 3 inches left of those 2 first shots. And all of these reloads, they all shot within about 5 inches of each other, and were out 30 or 40 yards. So that's pretty good. I'm happy that they all shot within the same area. This factory load, it actually probably had the best accuracy. It's a 240 grain bullet, jacketed bullet, and it shot about 2.5 inches. And you can see so there's 30 grain difference in weight, but you can see the velocity dropped off quite a bit. There was a 30 grain difference heavier, so that has an effect, but mainly it's just not loaded as hot as these reloads. So in determining what load I want, I think I've narrowed it down to either the 27 or the 27.3 or the 25.5. Now my reasoning for just taking the 27 and 27.3, obviously there's one flyer on each. The flyer on the 27 was a little bit less, but the main reason is because after the 25.5 all the way through the 26.5, my previous notes saying it looks like I went to 26, accuracy got a little bit worse than the 25.5, and I moved to 26.5, and it got even worse. So that's kind of why I'm avoiding that area. The harmonics or something wasn't right, and then it seems to get a little better the more we increase the powder. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards the 27 and 27.3. So there's a fairly significant gap there, about 80 feet per second, from the 27.3 and the 25.5. So to kind of help me determine what I might go with to see if there is even a difference to pick that the hotter load, to see if that extra recoil is even worth it. What I've done is, you'll see here on the screen, I've went to Hornady.com and put in some of the cartridge information as far as the velocity, the bolt coefficient, just some items like that. And I have ran some ballistics on them. So with this load, yeah, call me crazy, it might be stupid, I might get out there and I might not even be able to do it, but for this load I want to try to shoot milk jugs out to about 300 yards, so we'll see if that'll happen. But so in order to do that, obviously I'm going to have to hold over the target to adjust for that drop. So what I've done here is I've got some ballistic charts, and I've got the ballistics from the 25.5 grains and the 27.7 grains. And I'm just looking at the drop at 300 yards. I'm just seeing if there is, how big a difference there is, and there doesn't seem to be that big of a difference. You know, maybe is 6 or 7 inches at 300 yards, and at 300 yards 6 or 7 inches, well, I don't know that that's a huge deal, and that's at 300 yards. You go to 200 yards and we've got just a few inches. So the other thing to look at would be the energy, right? So you've got about 112 difference in energy. That's similar to like a standard velocity 22 cartridge. We go down to 300 yards, and the difference in muzzle energy decreases significantly. I don't know that the energy is gonna be that big of a deal. I've got plenty of energy. So what I think I'm going to do is I'll load up some 27.3s and some 25.5s, and I will shoot them at about 100 yards or so, maybe at different distances as well, and we'll see how they perform. See if I notice a difference at long range as far as grouping. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed kind of the numbers portion of it. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Thanks for joining in, and I hope I'll see you next time on Firearm Fury.